Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Allie G Show for track 12. This week's track is with Chad Donick, aka the Hydration Guy. Chad and I talked a lot about the work he does to keep our friends in New York City hydrated on long run days. He might get me out to Brooklyn. I don't know. We'll see. We also talked about his work with Girls on the Run and so much more, and I cannot wait for you all to hear it. All right, today's track, I am here with Chad Donick, the Hydration Guy. Chad, what's up? Welcome to the Allie G Show.
Hey, Allie, thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh my God, thanks for being on. I've been super excited for this chat. The anticipation has been growing over the last few weeks. You'll all hear why we were waiting to record, but why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Chad Donick. I am also known as the Hydration Guy, which we'll get into on what the heck that even is. Anyways, yeah, I live in Brooklyn. I've been here for 15 years. I grew up in Wisconsin, where I grew up in the Milwaukee area. I spent a couple years in Madison as well. Yeah, moved here in 2010 now, and have just been living it up here, and started my Hydration Guy project a couple years ago.
It's so cool. I know I'm like eager to get into the conversation about Hydration Guy, but I guess before we jump into that, you're a runner,
I
correct?
am.
Yourself? I
Yes,
love it.
yes, 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 I am.
How did you get into it? Like, were you
Uh,
running back in Wisconsin and then you came over and it translated to New York, or did you get to New York and you were like, I got to start doing this?
yeah, no, I started running, really for my health back when I was kind of between junior year and senior year of high school. So a long, long time ago, longer than I would like to admit. I just kind of got into it really for my health, to lose some weight, and just really liked it a lot, and started small, like everybody does and should. Got a mile under my feet, and within a couple months I was up to maybe 3 or 4 miles, and it was always just that. It was just I always had my little route, 3 4 miles and around the area, and that was it. And then when I met who I met Shannon, who would eventually become my wife. We were friends for quite a while, and she was a big runner in high school. She was in track and cross country, and then she was in track and cross country in college as well. So anyways, just her influence, her and I would just go on runs a lot, and just kind of grew from there. And I just kind of always stuck with it, and over the years you ebb and flow with it.
Totally.
Sometimes there'll be years where maybe I'll run 50 miles the entire year, and then there'll be some years where I'm just cranking out numerous half marathons. So
Love it.
it depends.
No, that's so awesome. So I guess, is a half marathon your favorite distance?
It is my favorite
Me
distance.
too.
Yes,
It's a
it is.
popular answer.
It is, and it's probably like everybody's, similar reason as everybody. It's fewer, or it's easier to train for, far less time consuming to train for. Even
Totally.
if you're not really fully trained, you can muster your way through a half marathon. You can get up and just do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not entirely painful. It's over a lot quicker, and it's still really satisfying. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
true.
I've done, I forgot, I meant to look at what my count was before we started talking, but it's something like 20, 27, 28
Oh
half
my
marathons,
God.
something like
That's
that. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Um, I really like the Philly half.
Ooh,
The
okay.
one in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like the one that's paired with the fall, I
Yes,
think,
yes, yeah,
right? Okay,
correct,
cool.
correct.
Cool.
Whatever one is like Dietz and Watson or whatever the heck that one
Yeah.
is called. Yeah, that I think I've done that one like I think 3 or 4 times. It was my PR course for a while, and then uh, I beat that one, and it was like what is it like Suffolk County, I think it was. They had one, so that became my PR course. But I didn't like that course very much anyway. So I'm like, I've been trying to like I want Philly to be my PR course again. So
Yeah.
tried to do that last year and wasn't able to. So try again this year.
That's all right. Oh, that's awesome. I love that you keep trying. And that's super cool. I've never thought about a course that way. Like I PR'd the United Half course, and to this day, I swear up and down it's never going to happen again.
Hmm.
I was just like on another level that day, apparently. I mean, the fitness is there, but it's just like that's a totally mental, you have to be in
Oh,
the right mental headspace for that course to be a
oh,
PR, in my
very
opinion.
much. No,
It's
100%. And
crazy.
it's yeah, I mean, you know, we you work towards a PR, but so much can just go wrong
Oh,
on
totally.
race day. Like you just never know what's gonna happen. Like I
Yeah.
had done I had been trying to PR Philly in fall of 2023. Yeah, fall of 2023. And missed it by, I don't know, missed it by like probably like 8 or 9 minutes. So it was just whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I was still satisfied with it. But anyways, in spring, actually 1 year ago, I did the United Half, and I had like, it was the first time ever I had the whole training cycle. I trained with a coach, and
Wow.
like I went in, I was feeling good, I was feeling confident, and then forget it.
Yep.
Forget
Yep.
it. It was like
That
all of a
was
sudden
me
it's like
last year.
that's a tough course, man. Like
It's tough.
those last 2.5 miles are a killer.
Oh my god. And you don't realize obviously until you get there. And I mean I run in the park all the time and I'm sure
Yeah.
it's the same for you. Like you run around the city all the time, but it's like you don't realize until you're in Central Park and you have like 11 miles on your feet and you're just like, "Oh my god." 11
Uh-huh.
miles of like rolling hills and
Yes.
incline and Prospect Park
Right.
and all of that. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a
Yeah.
tough one. I don't
And
know that I'll make that one my PR course ever
yeah,
again.
no.
Maybe.
Definitely not. No, definitely not. That's why I'd like to do Philly like
Yeah.
sometime. I think that one is doable. So,
I've never done
anyways,
that. I know. I
I'm a
know.
big fan. I was supposed to do it last fall. I actually like it was in May of last year. So the United Half last year was my last half marathon. Because in May I tripped on a sidewalk and
Oh, no.
fractured my ankle. So I was out for like I don't think I ran again for like it was like maybe about like 5 or 6 months. So
Oh my gosh.
it was just more annoying than anything. Like I didn't need
Yeah.
surgery. I was just in a walking boot, and then had to do PT, and then like by the time October came around, I was like, okay, I can run again. But even ever since
Yeah.
then, it's been almost 6 months, and like I'm struggling to like find the motivation to run.
Yeah.
So
It's tough.
yeah,
It
it's
really is
tough.
tough. I mean, honestly, I always give kudos to anybody that I mean, of course, in your scenario, it was like a pretty crazy injury, or it could have been. It could have been worse, I'm sure,
Yeah,
but
could have been much worse.
it could have been much worse, but still an injury nonetheless. And I always give kudos to people that like actually recover.
Mm.
I think that's a huge thing. I talk to so many runners that, have a different path in that situation. So props to you for recovering. I anticipate a strong comeback. Um,
I hope so. I hope so. I like,
yeah,
you know, got to find the motivation to get out there. Like I got all these
true.
like between hydration guy and then the races that I work and volunteer at, it's just I kind of like doing that now. I'm like, I
I
don't put a lot of
know.
effort all that much physical effort into this. I can just support others.
No, that's awesome. And before, because that's a great segue. I would
Yeah.
love to get into that in your work and volunteering with NYRR and doing work with Girls on the Run. But to your point before, like finding the motivation, I think is so tough in this season specifically too. And like even in the fall, it's a little funky for me personally. Like I had just had this conversation with my sister a few days ago because we just did the DC half, the
Mm.
rock and roll half,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was like
that's
for
right.
fun. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like all for fun. We did like 10 of us did it. It was a group of friends. Obviously, we're all different paces and we ran separately. A few people ran together, but I turned to my sister and I was like, "Wow, I really needed that race mentality or like that race energy to like revive my love for running."
Totally.
As silly as that sounds, because I mean, I'm training for Boston and it's just you know how it is. It's like week after week after week and then you hit a point and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm on the treadmill again," or like I'm
Hmm.
outside again. So having that one thing that just kind of rejuvenates your love for something is really awesome.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
Totally, totally. But no, let's jump into it. Talk to me about all of your volunteering with NYRR or your opportunities with them and Girls on the Run.
Yeah, so Girls on the Run, actually, I got involved with them a couple of years ago, and started actually got involved with them doing hydration stations. So this was back in actually 2023. So that was the first year that I was summer I was doing hydration guy as well, and just got involved running their hydration station like on their course. So
That's
they
really cool.
basically they do a 5K in the spring and the fall
Awesome.
for all of their program participants. So as well as like coaches and like the mentors and parents. So they get a good like 1,000 people like
That's
that come out
awesome.
for this 5K. They do it out on Randall's Island, and yeah, so I just volunteered my time to basically do the hydration station there, along with some other volunteers as well, getting everything ready for the kids to come through, and I get such a kick out of it because these kids, they just like, by the time they get to the fluid station, it's like, it's about the halfway point. So it's
Yeah.
it's about at a mile and a half, and they are so dramatic. They are just like, oh my gosh, and they're like taking the water, and they only get water. It's not Gatorade. So they're
Yeah.
just they are just slamming the waters. I'm like, I have never seen a fluid station at a mile and a half go through as much liquid as these kids go through. Just like I think it was something like, I don't know, it was something like 45 gallons or something
Oh
like
my
that. I
God.
know, they just, every
The
single one of them.
drama.
It's so dramatic. They're so dramatic, but it's
That's
really
so
cool.
funny.
It's a cool program, and yeah, I mean, for anyone who maybe doesn't know,
Yeah.
what Girls on the Run is, it is actually an international organization, and they have chapters all over the United States and Canada. And yeah, they basically they support, they have these programs that support youth from, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think it's like kindergarten through like eighth grade, I think is what it is.
Cool.
And they just have these various programs that kind of teach essential life skills, and they train volunteer coaches to basically like help kind of facilitate these lessons. And they have programs for, there's a third through fifth grade program and a sixth through eighth grade. So that's what it is. It's not kindergarten. It's third through eighth grade and sixth through eighth grade, different programs. So yeah,
That's
it's pretty
really
it's
cool.
it's it's pretty neat. And I just recently got involved in the associate board for them. The New York City chapter just recently started this associate board. So I've joined that. So now I'm like really trying to kind of help with different fundraising efforts, and just other activities that they do and they promote.
That's super cool. Super cool and so inspiring. I mean, it has to be, right, for everybody else and for you equally, you know. Um no, that's really
Yeah.
really awesome. And you do similar work for NYRR but like in a different capacity, right?
I
It's like
mean,
a partnership?
yeah, no, not even a partnership. No, nothing with NYRR as far as like partnership or anything
Gotcha.
goes. No, just the occasion, more so just the occasional volunteering,
Nice.
at some of their races, and not even like for 9+1. I don't.
Yeah.
I did do the marathon once. I did in 2019, and that was my one and only marathon. I don't have any motivation to do another one.
I respect
Um,
it. That's
and
rough.
it was a wonderful experience. Don't get me wrong, I loved experiencing all of it, but man, it's too time consuming, and
Yeah.
like, I'm just,
Yeah, it is.
it's just not my jam. Instead, I will support others. So that's why I love the Hydration Guy project, which I'll talk about in a minute.
100%.
Largely supporting marathon, people training. on their marathon journey during the
I love
summer.
it.
But anyways, yeah, with NYRR, probably my favorite volunteer opportunity I did with them was last fall for the marathon. I think it was like the day after the 2023 marathon when volunteer spots opened up. I'm like, I want to, like, I usually cheer. I love cheering it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to volunteer. So like right away, I in 2023, I signed up for a shift to work the start and basically or like the ferry terminal at Staten
Oh,
Island.
fun.
And it was like literally all we did for, whatever it was, like whatever the shift was, 3 hours, was form a cheer tunnel for the runners coming off the ferries. Like
It's so
you've
fun.
done you've done the New York Marathon, right?
Yeah,
And
twice.
you've taken
Yeah.
have you gone taken the ferry?
I
Uh,
actually haven't.
oh, you
I'm
haven't.
I'm
Okay,
a
okay,
bus girl
okay.
from the Meadowlands. But
Okay,
but I
gotcha.
was gonna say those are like I feel like the people that you see either getting on the bus or and I imagine getting on or off the ferry, um, and off the bus are like the most important of the day,
Yeah,
in my
it's
opinion.
so
It
cool.
sets the tone.
It
It
sets the
totally sets
tone.
the
It
tone.
just like every boat that came in, I think however many there were in that period of time, we are just a cheer tunnel. We have our noisemakers,
So fun.
and it's just like, like I'm crying, you're crying, everybody's crying. Just like
I
it's
know.
like these runners are coming off, and they're like, oh my, they didn't even know what to expect. They didn't know this was happening, and just everyone just smile, ear to ear.
It's so
So it's pretty
cool.
cool. It's pretty rewarding. And it's like, here we go, set the
Yeah.
tone for today. So
100%. I
that
can't even
that
tell you.
was
I
my
mean, yeah,
favorite.
that's so cool. As like a from like a runner's perspective too, and from
Yeah,
your, just like being that person for somebody that you know is so important on the day of or the morning of is
yeah,
that's so awesome. Or
yeah.
so you would do it again, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. I would highly recommend it. I didn't sign up this year. I'm signed up for this year. I actually did sign up to do medals at the finish.
Oh, fun. Another
So
one.
I may
Another
do
important
that.
one.
I might end up working it too. We'll kind of see because that's the other thing that I have involvement in races is just like working them on like as a like with vendors that like
Cool.
help put on the races and stuff, kind of doing the more behind the scenes things. So I'll do that through a vendor that works with NYRR, and so not with NYRR directly or anything.
Gotcha.
And then I also do. I am part of part-time event staff for NYC Runs, the other big running organization in New York City. I'm at pretty much every single running event that we put on throughout the year. I've been with them for a couple years now and do all kinds of different stuff with them on the course, often at the finish line. Sometimes I have a race director role, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
just love being
keep you on your
involved in.
toes.
Yeah, I know. I just love being involved in the running community, and being part of putting on these events for others.
Yeah, that is so awesome, and I personally appreciate that, of course. If the listeners can't tell already, Chad is a man of the people and the community. Um, but no, I guess perfect segue
Yeah,
into Hydration Guy. Tell me, like,
hydration
all
guy.
about it. How did it start? Like,
Yeah,
set the scene. You moved to New York City.
set the scene.
What is the vibe of Hydration Guy?
Yeah, so I actually I moved when we moved to New York City in 2010, and it took a few years to like to find my people, to find my place, and I eventually like did through fitness. I found well, really my wife found a group called the Rise NYC is an free outdoor fitness club. And they had a kind of a sister group called To Mercy. That is the acronym for the most informal running club ever.
Love that.
Yes, yeah. So To Mercy they've been around a while. Like, I mean, I think actually they formed, like, the person who originally formed them, I believe it was in Boston, but they kind of like became a pretty big run club, 2014, 2015, 2016 thereabouts. So point being, kind of got involved in the running and fitness community like around that time. And then it just kind of kept going from there. And over the years, like you just kind of like kind of move around, shift around, and eventually tried out some different running groups and stuff. And like, one thing led to another. And in 2022, yes, 2022, I was running a hydration, running the hydration station. Kind of, really, it was a paid position, for a local marathon training program that had me out there twice a week, basically just hauling all the hydration to wherever they were training, and working with a partner, and just getting the group of, I don't know, 100 or so people who were part of the program hydrated. So that was a lot of fun. And come 2023, I like wanted to do that like for everyone. I wanted to find a way to do that for everyone. I'm like, well, why don't I just like start small and just go out with a cooler of water, get some Gatorade, and see if this has legs. And I'm like, all right, well, so like, I know, I'll call myself the hydration guy. And I gotta have a
So you just came
logo.
up with that?
Yes, I
Like
did,
just
I did. Yeah, I
I
just
love it.
was like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the hydration guy. And one of the I work in a digital space. I work for a digital agency as my full-time job, and I am very much not a creative person at all. I'm a back-end web developer, but I work with some creative people. So I asked one of the designers that I work with, if she would draw me a logo, like, create hydration guy. And she nailed it on the first attempt. Like, she made hydro
Is
here.
that is the this the original that
This
we're seeing?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it.
That's the original. Got them on the t-shirts too.
So cool.
Hydro. And so I took that, kind of ran with it, and just started small. Bought a table, bought a couple coolers. I have a car, so I was able to kind of transport stuff, wherever I wanted. And I set up my first table on Kent Avenue by the Brooklyn
Okay.
Navy Yard. Um, Very popular running spot. I
Is that where
wanted
the Brooklyn Mile is?
It's pretty close. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Brooklyn Mile is on
That
Kent
is
Avenue.
downtown,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm a little further. Like, I set up a not on the route itself,
Gotcha.
but kind of more by the Navy Yard, closer to that, by the shipping containers. I'm just like, I'll just give this a whirl and see
Yep.
how it goes. And yeah, even like that first time out, like people were like stopping by and they're like, what's going on here, And I'm like, okay, like, had a lot of fun with that. And oh, I should probably say too, like, I decided to do this. Like, this was going to be free. It was
Mhm.
going to be free for all. Like, it's just water. It's just Gatorade. I'm not out to make a profit. I'm not out to, make a second career out of this or anything like that. This is just something like, I have a passion for volunteering, giving back to the community in certain ways.
Mhm.
I was already very heavily involved in the running community. Know a lot of different run clubs, and run people. I'm a runner myself, so I like to think I have a little bit of a pulse on like what it is that runners are looking for.
For sure.
And dude, just drawing from my own experience of doing my marathon training, and it's like, man, I wish I could have had like some water here, or hydration, some hydration here, because like you run out of that water bottle pretty
I
quick.
know. I know. Or if you're like me, you don't carry one and then you're like
Yeah.
either stopping on the West Side Highway
Hmm.
and cuz I've I've braved the water fountains a few
Yeah.
times, but now that I know a lot about them, quite honestly grosses me out.
What? Tell me more. What are you
No,
talking about?
I don't know.
You don't really want
I
to
don't.
talk about it. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we talk about it. We can sidebar about it.
Okay.
No, but it's usually just me stopping on the West Side Highway. But
Yeah.
and then I see the people that are like the bottle hiders, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would forget instantly where I put it.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of runner I am. It's like once I start, it's game over. So I respect that you're coming at Hydration Guy with like a runner's perspective and what you would need in
Yes.
that moment.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So anyways, like I said, all free. And then I decided like, well, I'll take how about if I do optional donations? I'll take like
Hmm.
and I'll just give those donations to a charitable organization of the week that I choose.
And it
And
changes
and
every
it
week.
changes every week.
I
And
love
it,
it.
generally tries to generally it's like in the kind of the fitness space or the outdoor space, something like
Yeah.
that. And actually the very first one I ever chose to do was Girls on the Run. Like
Oh,
it was because like I was like, oh, I need a good charitable organization that's a running organization. It's like, well, I know of Girls on the Run. Literally, run is in their title, in their
yeah.
name. So that's what I did. And I always expected like I'm like, maybe I'll get like $25 a week, 40 maybe $40 a week, something like that. Somebody comes by, gives me $1. I
Yeah.
always like make, I always had a QR code for my personal Venmo. And then I will just, anything that comes through there, then I um, give it to the organization. I did at the beginning. I did like kind of split the donations like 50-50 because I was like, basically recouping my startup costs
Of course.
like for that.
Yeah.
But then what happened, I never expected to happen. Like it just took off. And all of a sudden I was getting $100, $200 a week, and then like
Wow.
$300. I'm like, what is happening here? So I recouped my costs so quick that then every week it was like, well, now this is only costing me like, let's say $20 a week for, for ice
Right.
and some Gatorade concentrate, like whatever that is, and then the rest goes to whatever the organization of the week was. And
That's so
yeah,
cool.
it ended up just like being so awesome, so fulfilling. I think that first year, of course, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was something like I think it was something like $5,000
Oh my
that I
gosh.
raised, and like I think it was like 4,500 of that went to different organizations.
That's amazing.
So
That's
cool,
amazing
so much
work.
fun, um, and I mean that's not the driving purpose for why I did it, but it kind of ended up being this like hey, this bonus for that I'm able
Yeah.
to help out some of these other organizations. But I think what I really love about it is just like being able to meet everybody,
Yeah.
and see their journey, too, from week to
Yeah.
week, and like remembering certain. I'm not good with names. Everybody knows this.
I'm not either. Don't worry.
Anybody who's gonna be listening, anybody who's gonna be listening to this, knows that I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
know your face, but man, it takes me a while to know your name, especially when I'm seeing so many people every week. So,
I'm in the same boat.
yeah.
It's all good. I respect that on a whole other level. um no, that you I just admire you so much for all the great work that you do in our community. I think it's so awesome. And kind of a cool full circle moment when, Hydration Guy kind of blew up and you were able to donate to Girls on the Run, and now
Yep.
look where you are now with them. I think
I know,
that's
right?
so awesome.
Yeah, I
I mean, that must feel like really good,
it
right?
does, it really
Like
does.
you're
It's
connected
like
in like a different way. You're not just,
absolutely.
you know,
Yeah,
doing the work you're doing for them now, but it's kind of
abs
been like this long stretch of work,
absolutely. And
which
it
is
was
so
all
cool.
just very I don't know, everything just kind of happened very organically. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
like forcing anything, and I like didn't haven't really like changed my formula, so to speak.
Hmm.
From the first week. Like sure, I've added on some things. I got a new tablecloth with my logo on it.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
this coming year, I have some not going to be able to pull it out really nice and quick, even though it's right here. But I got some new signage, some big chloroplast, that says
Love
free
it.
hydration ahead. So, just little improvements every year is my goal. But outside of that, like it's the same model, you know.
Well, I can't wait
Yeah,
to hopefully see you this
I
summer
hope
on
so.
one of my
Yeah.
long runs.
Yeah, come on out. I,
I
I,
have
I my,
to.
my locations generally be like I do Kent Avenue,
Okay.
in Brooklyn, and then I like to do like bases of bridges. So, base of the Manhattan Bridge on the Brooklyn side,
Hmm.
Pulaski Bridge on the Brooklyn side is a
Okay.
is is a good one. And then Queensboro Bridge is always really popular. I tend to save that one for a little bit later into training season
Hmm.
when everybody is running that bridge to get familiar with it for the marathon.
Me.
So yeah, right, exactly. So it tends to
Yeah.
be more like September, October when I'll go over there. So
Sounds
those
good.
tend to be my big places, and then I usually like the last 2 summers I've snuck onto summer streets,
Ooh, don't
so
tell anyone.
yeah, I know those are my most impactful days though. Like I
Yeah, I
go
bet.
like around 78th Street, and there is they provide no hydration pretty much north of Grand Central,
Hmm.
and people are just like desperate for like
You're like,
some
skip.
water. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
like like give the people what they want.
Yeah. No,
um,
I love it.
and those are always big fundraiser days. So the last two summers, those I raised funds for Team WEPA. Have you heard of
Okay.
them?
Hmm.
They're a running organization, yeah, a running club. And they have the WEPA Kids,
Hmm.
and raise money for their school supply drive. So I
That's so
think I
nice.
don't know. It just those are my two biggest fundraising days of the summer. So
No,
a lot
that's
of
so
fun.
cool.
Yep.
And was there, I guess, backtracking a little bit,
Yep.
was there like, you said it kind of, the hydration guy kind of blew up and it became this bigger thing. Like, was there a specific moment where you were like, other than outside of like the donations you were getting and maybe the more money you were raising, like, was there ever a moment where you're like, oh, this is going to like take off, or this is going to be, it's
Honestly,
going to
I
be
think it
bigger?
was Summer Streets of 2023. Like,
Okay.
so, I started this at the beginning of July of 2023. I think I might have gone out at like the end of June, but like I
Hmm.
started doing it weekly at the beginning of July. And so by the time Summer Streets came around, it had been it was maybe my fifth or sixth time out,
Hmm.
and just like it was just I couldn't believe what had happened when I went out there and I went through, gosh, 50 gallons of water in like 2 hours or something like that. Like I
Wow.
was like I had a couple helpers that day, so that was great. Shout out to Katie and Tracy, and I was like running down to the CVS to get more gallons of water and ice. Like I made like
Oh,
three
wow.
bonus trips because I'm like, okay, gotta get more, and then finally it was just like, I'm done.
Yeah. You're like, I'm cooked.
Forget it.
Like,
And
it's done.
and it was after that, and then like I strictly use I strictly use Instagram for my promotions, and
Hmm.
just like seeing the followers grow from week to week, I was like, this is really starting to take off.
That's so
And then
cool.
certain run clubs, like they started so I run with a group called TGIF Run Crew,
Hmm.
and so they were coming, they'd come out on their Saturday long runs and visit me. But then kind of some other Brooklyn clubs especially, got to know me more, and they like plan their long run routes around me, so that they, oh, but
It's awesome.
we're gonna hit you at mile 9 of 14, whatever. So like,
Yeah.
shout out to South Brooklyn Run Club, Crown Heights Run Club. I know you talked to Jeremy
Jeremy's
last
the
month.
best.
Yeah, yep.
Crown Heights. He's
Yes,
hyping up Crown Heights. He might
yes.
get me over there. I don't know. We'll see.
North Brooklyn runners are big fans, and others that I'm missing too. So
Yeah.
so yeah. it's good. It's a lot
No,
of
that's
fun.
really cool. And
Yeah.
it's very telling about the NYC running community too. I feel like it's something that I personally have never, I mean, I live in Jersey, but I work in New York. I'm going back and forth all the time. So it's like anytime I do a long run, this is going to sound so silly, but like I drive
Yeah.
to do the long run
Right.
because like where am I going to run 21 miles around the suburbs? It's doable, but it's boring. It
Sure.
goes much
Sure.
quicker when I'm in the city. But I never realized like all these little close knit connections until I joined run clubs and started
Right.
running with them on like the weeknights after work and things like that. And it's just so cool. And I think the work
Hmm.
you're doing is so, so powerful. And it might not, when it really, really, really takes off on Instagram, you'll be like, wow, this is,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so cool. It's so, so
Yes.
cool. And then I guess fast forward, you just had the article written about you
I did. That
in
was
the, is it the Wind?
awesome.
It's the Wind magazine, right?
Yeah,
Correct me
like
if I'm
the
wrong.
Wind
Like the
magazine.
Wind.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a quarterly, and so actually there's the cover of it.
So cool.
And here's the article, Water of Life.
Mhm.
And like all the credit in the world goes to Tracy Mamalito. She has like we've been connected like really since 2023. Like she had like I don't even remember how if she like was out running herself and discover me or what it was, but even going back to summer streets of 2023, she came out, helped me with some of the hydration, but she's a photographer, and a writer, and she had taken a bunch of pictures on that day, and has come out to some other bigger events that I do as well, taking pictures. And at the beginning of 2024, maybe it's like mid 2024, she asked if she could write an article, because she's like, I want to try to like see if I can get something published, and use the photos that she's taken as part of it. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. So she did that. She like interviewed different people who I have been involved with and impacted, and she just ran with it. It was awesome.
Love
And
it.
it was a couple months ago. She's like, I got good news. That
Yay.
she knows. So it's this quarterly magazine. Unfortunately, you can't read the article online. It's strictly a print
Just like a
magazine.
PDF. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, anybody who wants to read it, I like just sending them the PDF. But I bought my own subscription now to this magazine, and it's actually pretty cool. It's like
The cover is
really,
so
yeah,
cool,
really like
let
heavy
alone
stock,
like the
almost
rest
like a
of it.
graphic novel, like
Yeah.
I mean the cover type and the page type, and it's got some really good articles like about and photography in here, and all about running. And they're based in England somewhere. Might be London directly. I can't recall.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
I'm
god, the
very
reach
excited.
that you have with
I know,
Hydration Guy,
right?
Chad.
I
That is
know.
that
Yes.
is awesome. I
I've gone
love it.
international.
You have gone international. Here you are like, I knew it was gonna blow up at this moment. Meanwhile, you are
Yes.
international.
Yes.
That's a win.
There we go. Exactly.
It's so,
Exactly.
so
So
cool.
very
Well,
exciting to be in print.
yeah, for sure. Shout out to like the Win magazine.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to follow along on Hydration Guy's Instagram, which we'll get to
Yes.
at the end. I don't want to jump.
All right.
I'm not done talking to you yet,
Nope.
Chad.
Nope. Okay. Not done yet. All right.
No. Um, no. Okay. So again, shout out Jeremy. He
Yeah.
had told me you're doing this fun thing on Instagram.
Yep.
Um, an album a day. Are you listening to an
I
album a
am.
day and you're writing a little blurb about it? Tell
I
me more,
am.
because
Yes.
I'm a
This is
music
fun.
person, and
Yes.
this is why I started the pod, music and
Yeah.
running and all things in between, and we're
Yep.
going all things in between and music.
Things
So
in
yeah, tell
between.
me more about
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just kind of randomly at the beginning of this year was like, I don't know, maybe I'll try to do like a album a day project. I've always been a huge music fan. Like, so I was, I came of age musically in the early to mid 90s. Like,
Okay,
so like that's when I was a teenager. So like, grunge and alternative rock, like at at my core, that's my kind of music.
love it.
But I do love all kinds of music, like for real. Like, and I was just like, all right, well, why don't I just do like an album a day, and I'll just like just do it through, and I'll do it on Instagram, just write, whatever. Sometimes maybe it's a couple sentences, sometimes it's a couple paragraphs,
Yeah.
depending on what it is. It'll give me an opportunity to visit, old albums that I love that I haven't listened to in a while, explore new albums, new music, and
Yeah.
just do something different. Because like sometimes like it just gets stale. Like I just kind of I have all kinds of different mixes on my
Yeah.
Spotify, but sometimes it just gets stale. So I'm like, how about if I do this little project? And yeah,
Yeah.
I am. What am I? I'm like 70. I'm just about 80 albums in now. Yeah, I'm 70. I'm a couple days behind because I had a busy weekend, so I'll catch up
I
pretty
mean, you
quick.
wear so
Yeah.
many hats, so how
Yes,
could you not
yes,
have a busy
yes,
weekend?
yes. So I'll catch up pretty quick here, but yeah, today I just listened to my 75th album, which was
Wow.
Tori Amos's 19. Oh, I didn't look up the year yet. I think it was 1996, maybe. I may be wrong about that, but Tori Amos's album, Boys for Pele. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's
I'm gonna have to add that one to my
yeah,
list.
it's a good,
I haven't listened to that in a while.
it's a good album. It's the one with
Yeah.
Caught a Light Sneeze on it, and
Mhm. Mhm.
just love Tori on the piano, and she's so poetic. So
Yeah.
I remember seeing her. I think I saw her live once, and I think it was on the Boys for Pele tour as well.
Oh my gosh. Do you
So
remember where
good.
it was?
Oh, this was back in Milwaukee, probably at a theater called the Riverside in downtown Milwaukee.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you have a favorite album so far that you've listened
Um,
to?
I have many favorite albums. So I was pondering what my answer to this question
I
would
know.
be,
You can
and
give me
I
like a top
keep
three
and I
because it's the
keep
hardest for
coming
me
I
to
keep
answer.
coming back to it surprised me, but my favorite right now is Janet Jackson's Velvet Rope.
Whoa.
So, right?
Okay.
I mean, I've listened to this album before, and I just hadn't listened to it in a while. And so this one goes back. This was October of '97. I made that note. It was released October 7th, 1997. I wasn't like a huge like Janet Jackson fan at that time,
Yeah.
um, but I had a friend who was, and like he was my best friend for many years, and like listening to this album again a couple months ago, or whenever I listened to it, it was just, it kind of brought back memories of like being in his car and him like freaking out like about how great this album is, but also then like me like now listening to it again, it's like, oh, I'm kind of freaking out. It's like
Yeah. It's a good
smooth and
album.
sexy and layered and just like lyrically beautiful, and
Hmm.
it's just a good album. And this is the one that has Together Again,
Yep.
and then What About got like has a very Rhythm Nation
Hmm.
1984 feel to it. So then like it was like this was the first time that I did two like a double album in a day basically, because then I went and
Love
I
it.
listened to Rhythm Nation at 84, and I'm like, yes, this is good. So yeah, so that's probably the biggest surprise. That's probably one of my favorites that I've listened to, and really dig that. Boys to Men, Motown Philly. That was a
Ooh,
good throwback.
okay.
I chose that one because that was the first CD I ever owned.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a good one.
Hmm.
I haven't listened to Boys to Men in so long.
I had not either, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is good.
Yeah. I keep going back to like the older albums lately and I'm like, man, this is just like I'm trying to think of a good example. Like Carole King's Tapestry.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
yes.
Start to finish, perfect. Um,
Did you?
Sergeant
Sorry to interrupt,
Pepper's.
but did you see the
No.
musical? Did you see Beautiful?
You know what's funny? I didn't,
Oh, okay.
but I did but
Yeah.
I did. I worked at the time that Beautiful came out, I worked at Ghostlight Records
Okay.
and they produced the cast recording.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I just went home with like a bunch of vinyl of the Beautiful soundtrack or
Nice.
original Broadway cast recording. And I do listen to it sometimes on vinyl because I think it's so fun, A,
Yeah.
to listen on vinyl, but it's just cool to hear a different variation of it.
Yeah.
Or different arrangement. It's slightly different.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
But it's one of my favorite, like Tapestry is one of my favorite albums of all time.
All right.
I just
I'm
think
I'm
it's
adding that
so
to the
good.
list.
Yes, there
Yes.
we go.
Going around the list right now. Tapestry.
Yes. I'm interested to see your notes on that one or your
Okay.
take on that one.
Okay. Cool. I
Um,
dig that.
no, but that's so cool. And I think to your point about Hydration Guy, like starting organically, who knows what your album a day could turn into.
Yeah. Who knows? Who
I
knows?
mean, I loved it immediately when Jeremy told me. I was like, "Wait, I need to talk to Chad about this because
Yeah. It's.
this is like my bread and butter of like his music."
I'd totally recommend doing something like that. And
No, for
you know,
sure.
I've been doing little themes, like you know, like I did for most of February. I was doing like influential Black artists. So that was
Cool.
cool. I listened to a lot of stuff. That's where Janet Jackson was part of that,
Mhm.
and that was where you know, I listened to some things I don't normally listen to, and like actually Doechii.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Doechii,
Like
she's so
I
good.
know she's been out for a few years, but like it's just, you know, not something. It's not some. You know, rap is usually not entirely on my radar, not because
Me
I
too.
dislike it, but like
Mhm.
it just isn't something that I like seek out. And then like
Yeah.
I saw her performance at the Grammys this year. I'm like, what is this song?
Yeah.
And then like so I'm like, I'm listening to this soundtrack, or not soundtrack, but this, you know, her album.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, great album. Great
She
album.
is so talented and
Yeah.
so different from any other rap art like female rap artist that's out there now, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But I'm also like I'm very much like when I was into rap, it was more like Nicki Minaj and like
Yeah.
the artists that are still popular today, but like Doechii being like an older artist, but kind of up and coming now. Like she's absolutely having her moment now.
Right.
And listening back, I'm just like, oh my God, she is so talented and in
So
such a different way from anybody else. It's very unique. She's very unique.
it's very cool. Very cool.
No, I think that's so cool. But and I guess with that being said, we can wrap up with a few more questions.
Hmm.
But you being a big music guy, does that ever influence like your running or your volunteering? Like, do you
Um,
ever or hydration guy? I don't
Yeah,
know. Do you
I
ever
mean,
volunteer
hydration
for
guy
them?
always has music.
Heck yeah.
Hydration guy's an oasis. It's a party stop for the runners, you know? It's something that like I want runners to like be out there on their run and look forward to like hitting up the hydration guy stop to kind of break up their run, you know, when they're out doing their 16 miles of their of their
Yeah.
training run. It's like, hey, I'm here, take a beat for a few minutes, like relax. I got ice towels. I got cold water. I got cold Gatorade, and I got
Oh my
tunes
God.
going. I usually every week is kind of like a different like I don't know theme that'll do the playlist. Like I do have my general. It's actually my playlist for when I'm like doing cheer zones at races.
Mhm.
But I'll use it, of course, use it for hydration guide too. You know, whatever. Uh, your upbeat cheer zone type music. But
I
then
love it.
I like to do my themes too. Like I'll have an 80s day, like a 90s R&B day, maybe a hip hop day. You know, I don't know. One day I did Prince. I did all Prince. So
Ooh,
I got
that's fun.
I got some good reactions to that one. And then I remember there was one time I was doing hydration for like some people who were on a specific route where I was halfway like on the route.
Mhm.
So I was playing John Bon Jovi,
Oh, like you're halfway there.
halfway there on repeat, and
Oh,
everyone
that's
just
so
got a kick
funny.
out of that. Like, and you know, that's the thing. Like, music is, it's, you know, music is obviously very, you know, subjective,
Of
but
course.
it's also a uniter. So,
Totally. I
like,
was gonna say
every,
it connects
yeah,
people in
it
such a different way
exactly,
all the
exactly.
time.
And then for my,
No,
you
that's
know, personally, like, yeah, like if I'm out running, I'll throw on my running mixes. And when I was training for a marathon or even half marathons, I had my very specific mixes. And
of
then
course.
I always had I had my PR mix for my half
Mhm.
marathon, which I didn't PR, but you know,
It
it was like,
happens.
here we go. This is it. I got this is what's gonna get me there. So you know, strategically place every single song.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you have a song? Do you
You
have
know I
a
respect that.
do you have a song that you like if you're out like do you listen to music during your races, or are
I
you
do.
okay? Do you have a
I
song?
need music.
Do you have a song that you like put like several times on a mix, like that you keep coming back to?
Yes.
What is
That's
it?
it's so funny that you asked. Mine is As It Was by Harry Styles.
Okay.
I think I mean, if you haven't heard it,
I'll
yeah,
listen
if you
to it.
haven't heard it, it's more, and I'm not the kind of runner, like musical runner, that like focuses on BPM solely in my playlists, but
Yeah.
it's just that one where I know it comes on, I'm gonna like be able to get into my pace.
Cool.
So yeah, it's totally on there multiple times. I hate to admit that, but it is. It's okay. It's okay. We're,
No,
you know.
don't. Music is subjective. Whatever
It's
works,
true. It's
whatever
true.
works for you. Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
true. But
yes.
for my DC playlist, I actually just did, I wanted to hit a time goal and I made it the exact amount of minutes for the time goal. And I was like, okay, well, if I know that this song is last, it was Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. Yeah,
Nice.
right? Like I was like, I just want to go through the finish line listening to Skater Boy. It just felt right. My playlist hit the entire way. It was so good. And then I knew when I got to that song that if I wasn't at like at least 400 meters, that like
Yeah,
I was not going to hit my goal. And I was like, you have to haul ass right now. Like,
I
um,
love that. I love
and I
that.
literally hit like 400 meters left and the song came on. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I can low key try to run through a wall right now, or I can just let it rock because I know I'm going to hit my time. So,
That is so
um,
cool. I love
it's
that.
so funny. Yeah, Skater Boy. What a throwback. I
That
don't
is
even
a
know
throwback.
what prompted me to do that,
I
but
don't know, but that's a jam. I'll take that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
anything Avril
absolutely.
Lavigne.
Heck
If
yeah.
she's screaming in my ear, it makes
Totally.
me run faster.
Yes.
Yes. No, it's so cool. Well, on that note, Chad, thank you so much for being on the Allie G Show. I think you've convinced me to run in Brooklyn
All right.
and maybe the base of the Manhattan Bridge, even though I'm afraid of the Manhattan Bridge for obvious reasons.
Other
But
than the United half last year.
yeah, yeah, just that slight uphill that you
Yes.
encounter.
Yes.
Um, but no, this has been awesome. I
Cool.
can't wait for you to grow Hydration Guy even bigger than it is now.
Yeah.
And build
Same.
this brand. Even though you said you weren't creative, but everything
Yeah.
you've told me is so creative. So,
I think I'm not visually like I can't sit
fair,
down and like
fair,
draw something. That's what I mean.
fair. You got creative ideas though,
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm here for it. But before we part ways here, if you want to tell everyone where they can find you on Instagram or Hydration Guy, and if they want to hit you up and find the article,
Yep, yeah.
let it rock.
The hydration guy on Instagram. It's as easy as that. That is where
Love
you
it.
find me. So come on out, give me a follow. You can see everything I've been doing the past couple years. I got my FAQs on there for like who the heck am I, what am I doing, and you can hit me up for the article as well.
Love it. The article, hit him up for water,
Yep.
Gatorade, and any album requests.
Yeah.
that you
No.
might have.
Give me some requests or
Yeah,
give me some ideas.
I love it. Well, thank you so much again, Chad. This has been awesome.
Yeah. You are very welcome. Thanks, Allie. Thanks for having me.
I had such a great time chatting with Chad for track 12 of the Allie G Show, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode too. Please follow along with the Hydration Guy on Instagram and follow all of Chad's 365 albums of 2025. It's great. I've been following along as the weeks go on. And as always, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Allie G Show. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like it, share it, listen to it week after week until you get sick of me. And follow along on Instagram at @the_Allie G Show for updates and new track releases.